Welcome in, one and all. Are you ready? Are you scared? This, my friends, is not our normal streams. Welcome in. How are we feeling on a Monday night? Let's see. Hi, Morpho. Hi, King. Hi, Yasu. Hi, Jay. Hi, Mama. It's nice to see you all tonight. So, less than 24 hours before the new year. We still have time for Streamers for Thankmas, and that's precisely why we're here. I will be having this as my last stream for the year, so I figured, what a way. Not less than 24, but for some people it is. For me, I have about 28 hours before the new year. But I figured one last stream for 2024, and we'd send it off on a good note. Now, I do have my lovely co-host here, Miso, also my fellow streamer mate. Hi, Brits. Welcome in. I am the one who's amazing. 22 hours here, I think. Yeah, 2 a.m. You would have 22 hours left until the new year. Now, I'm a little sad I am doing this on a Monday night, just simply due to the fact that I know my son was really excited about the first story I have planned. 23 hours. Now, I'll not remember most of them. I would not expect anything less, Brit. So, this is my last stream for doing everything for Streamers for Thankmas. What that means is this is our last chance to continue raising funds. Now, I know some of my other fellow streamer mates that are in the Streamers for Thankmas will be streaming tomorrow. Currently, we are at 2,114 out of 2,500 for raising for our goal of Streamers for Thankmas to donate for suicide prevention and mental health awareness. I thought a story might be nice. Now, it can't all be terror and horror when doing things for your mental health. So that's part of what my co-host here is for. My co-host will be reading the sweet side of stories, while I will be with the sour. Miso, if you are listening, feel free to unmute whenever. I will let him unmute in his own time. But, like I was saying before, the reason why I'm a little sad I'm doing this on a Monday night when my son will be asleep is because he requested that we do The Telltale Heart as the very first story. There's my son. Hi, Eel. You're getting what you want. But, yes, hi, Noctis. It's nice to see you. Hi.
Hello.
Hi,
Sorry.
Miso.
Hi, loves.
Yes, Noctis, you are getting what you would like with the first story, because it is the Telltale Heart like you asked me.
Hi, Noctis. Hi, Jay. Hi, Morpho. Hi, Lady
Hi,
Disdain.
Mama. Happy early New Year. Does that mean Star will be... Morpho, thank you so much for the $10. Does that mean Star will still be talking in 2025? Yasu, I swear.
Oh yeah, and happy New Year's Eve to you, Morpho, because I know you're on a different time length than us. So happy New Year's Eve to you.
And Happy New Year's Eve to Brit as well, because I know that he is also on a
Ah,
different
yes.
time. See, I'm trying to get it where it'll capture the correct screen that I'm wanting, but it seems as though it's not letting me. Hi, Mono. Thank you for the follow. Let's see. Browser. Jeez. Just keep freaking. Oh my god. They're being ridiculous in chat. Happy Time Bomb. Thank you, Mono. Let's see. So this did not work. Let's see. I'm glad everyone's in there. So do you have any further stories other than the one that you only sent in side chat? Miso. Ah, fuck. We lost him.
Yeah, I do. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I was actually pulling them up.
Okay, just making sure, because I wanted to make sure
Yeah, I
that,
got you. I'm gonna
yeah,
send them to you.
yeah.
Do you want me to send them to you?
If you would like, I am currently putting things up on a screen, so that way people are able to see it.
Okay, got you. Okay, give me 1 second.
Yep. Oh, that actually kind of works. Let's see. If they keep yapping for 22 hours, yes. Just seen I was washing my dishes. It's probably toxin. Yasu, I do not talk in my sleep. You are just slandering me at this point. Let's see. There's your little Fugi. I'm gonna move. It actually won't let me move you properly, but I'll just move you for right now. There we go. Let's see if that actually moved you where it should. Nope, it did not. It just was silly. It was just acting silly. So... Star has an amazing reading voice. I'm so excited. They're not good. Okay. I'm going to do this because it's probably going to be the easiest way. There we go. It looks very silly on my side for the preview, but it works for stream, so that's all that really matters, honestly. Alrighty. Are we ready for some stories? Star better not make me pass out and speedrunning a request that has to be done before the new year. It's okay. Alrighty. True. Nervous. Very, very dreadfully nervous I had been and am. But why will you say that I am mad? The disease has sharpened my senses, not destroyed them, not dulled them. Above all was the sense of hearing acute. I heard all things in the heaven and in the earth. How then am I mad? Hearken and observe how healthily, how calmly I am to tell you the whole story. It is impossible to say how first the idea entered my brain, but once conceived, it haunted me day and night. Object there was none. Passion there was none. I loved the old man. He had never wronged me. He had never given me insult. For his gold I had no desire. I think it was his eye. Yes, that was it. One of his eyes resembled that of a vulture, a pale blue eye with a film over it. Whenever it fell upon me, my blood ran cold. And so by degrees, very gradually, I made up my mind to take the life of the old man, and thus rid myself of the eye forever. Now this is the point. You fancy me mad. Madmen know nothing. But you should have seen me. You should have seen how wisely I proceeded, with what caution, with what foresight, with what dissimulation I went to work. I was never kinder to the old man than during the whole week before I killed him. And every night, about midnight, I turned the latch on his door and opened it, oh so gently. And then, when I had made an opening sufficient for my head, I put in a dark lantern, all closed so that no light shone out. And then I thrust in my head. Oh, you would have laughed to see how cunningly I thrust it in. I move it slowly, very, very slowly, so that I might not disturb the old man's sleep. It took me an hour to place my whole head within the opening so far that I could see him as he lay upon his bed. Ha! Would a madman have been so wise as to this? And then, when my head was well in the room, I undid the lantern cautiously. Oh, so cautiously. Cautiously, for the hinges creaked. I undid it so much that a single thin ray fell upon the vulture eye, and this I did for 7 long nights. Every night, just as midnight. But I found the eye always closed, and so it was impossible to do the work. For it was not the old man who vexed me, but his evil eye. And every morning, when the day broke, I went boldly into the chamber and spoke courageously to him, calling him by name in a hearty tone, and inquiring how he had passed the night. So you would see he would have been a very profound old man indeed, to suspect that every night, just at 12, I looked upon him while he slept. Upon the 8th night, I was more than usually cautious in opening the door. A watch's minute hand moved more quickly than it did mine. Never before that night had I felt the extent of my own powers, of my sagacity. I could scarcely contain my feelings of triumph. To think that there I was, opening the door, little by little, and he not even to dream of my secret deeds or thoughts. I fairly chuckled at the idea, and perhaps he heard me, for he moved on the bed suddenly as if startled. Now you may think that I drew back, but no. His room was as black as pitch with the thick darkness, for the shutters were closed fastened, through fear of robbers. And so I knew that he could not see the opening of the door, and I kept pushing it on steadily, steadily. I had my head in, and was about to open the lantern when my thumb slipped upon the tin fastening, and the old man sprang up in the bed, crying out, "Who's there?" I kept quite still and said nothing. For a whole hour I did not move a muscle, and in the meantime I did not hear him lie down. He was still sitting up in the bed, listening, just as I had done night after night, hearkening to the death watches in the walls. Presently I heard a slight groan, and I knew it was the groan of mortal terror. It was not a groan of pain or of grief. Oh no. It was the low stifled sound that arises from the bottom of the soul when overcharged with awe. I knew the sound well. Many a night, just at midnight, when all the world slept, it had welled up from my own bosom, deepening with its dreadful echo the terrors that distraught me. I say I knew it well. I knew what the old man felt and pitied him, although I chuckled at heart. I knew that he had been lying awake ever since the first slight noise, when he had turned in the bed. His fears had ever since growing upon him. He had been trying to fancy them causeless, but could not. He had been saying to himself, "It is nothing but the wind in the chimney. It is only a mouse crossing on the floor. Or it is merely a cricket which had made a single chirp." Yes, He has been trying to comfort himself with all these suppositions. He had found all in vain. All in vain. Because death, in approaching him, had stalked with his black shadow before him and enveloped the victim. And it was the mournful influence of the unperceived shadow that caused him to feel, although he never saw nor heard, to feel the presence of my head within the room. When I had waited a long time, very patiently, without hearing him lie down, I resolved to open a little, a very, very little crevice in the lantern. So I opened it. You cannot imagine how stealthily, until at length a single dim ray, like the thread of a spider, shot out from the crevice and fell upon the vulture eye. It was open, wide, wide open, and I grew furious as I gazed upon it. I saw it with perfect distinctness, all a dull blue, with a hideous veil over it that chilled the very marrow in my bones. But I could see nothing else of the old man's face or person, for I had directed the ray as if by instinct precisely upon that damned spot. And now have I not told you that what you mistake for madness is but over-acuteness of the senses? Now, I say, there came to my ears a low, dull, quick sound, such as a watch makes when enveloped in cotton. I knew that sound too well. It was the beating of the old man's heart. It increased my fury, as the beating of a drum simulates the soldier into courage. But even yet, I refrained and kept still. I scarcely breathed. I held the lantern motionless. I tried how steadily I could maintain the ray upon the eye. Meantime. Where the fuck am I? The hellish tattoo of the heart increased. It grew quicker and quicker, louder and louder every instant. The old man's terror must have been extreme. It grew louder, I say, louder every moment. Do you mark me well? I have told you that I am nervous, so I am. And now at the dead hour of the night, amid the dreadful silence of that old house, so strange a noise as this excited me to uncontrollable terror. Yet for some minutes longer I refrained and stood still. But the beating grew louder, louder. I thought the heart must have burst. And now a new anxiety seized me. The sound would be heard by a neighbor. The old man's hour had come. With a loud yell, I threw open the lantern and leaped into the room. He shrieked once. Once only. In an instant, I dragged him to the floor and pulled a heavy bed over him. I then smiled gaily to find the deed so far done. But for many minutes, the heart beat on with a muffled sound. This, however, did not vex me. It would only not be heard through the wall. At length, it ceased. The old man was dead. I removed the bed and examined the corpse. Yes, he was stone dead. I placed my hand upon the heart and held it there many minutes. There was no pulse. He was stone dead. His eye would trouble me no more. If you would still think me mad, you will think so no longer when I describe the wise precautions I took for the concealment of the body. The night waned, and I worked hastily but in silence. First of all, I dismembered the corpse. I cut off the head and the arms and the legs. I then took up 3 planks from the flooring of the chamber and deposited them all between the saintlings. My camera dies out in the middle of the story. How wonderful. I then replaced the board so cleverly, so cunningly, that no human eye, not even his, could have detected. There we go, I'm back. Hello. Anything wrong? There was nothing to wash out. Or I guess I'm gone again. Why can't I stay? Why can't I stay? Why must there be scuff? There was nothing to wash out. No stain of any kind. No blood spot whatsoever. I had been too wary for that. A tub had got it all. When I had made an end of these labors, it was 4 o'clock, still dark as midnight. As the bells sounded the hour, there came a knocking at the street door. I went down to open it with a light heart. For what had I now to fear? There entered 3 men, who introduced themselves with perfect suavity as officers of the police. A shriek had been heard by a neighbor. During the night, suspicion of foul play had been aroused. Information had been lodged at the police office, and they, the officers, had been deputed to search the premises. I smiled. For what had I to fear? I bade the gentleman welcome. The shriek, I said, was my own in a dream. The old man I mentioned was absent in the country. I took my visitors all over the house. I bade them search well. I led them, at length, to his chamber. I showed them his treasures, secure, undisturbed. In the enthusiasm of my confidence, I brought chairs into the room and desired them here to rest from their fatigues, while I myself, in the wild audacity of my perfect triumph, placed my own seat upon the very spot beneath which reposed the corpse of the victim. The officers were satisfied. My manner had convinced them. I was singularly at ease. They sat, and while I answered cheerily, they chatted of familiar things. But ere long I felt myself getting pale and wished them gone. My head ached, and I fancied a ringing in my ears. But still they sat and still chatted. The ringing became more distinct. It continued and became more distinct. I talked more freely to get rid of the feeling, but it continued and gained definitiveness, until at length I found that the noise was not within my ears. No doubt I now grew very pale, but I talked more fluently and with a heightened voice. Yet the sound increased, and what could I do? It was a low, dull, quick sound. Much such the sound as a watch makes when enveloped in cotton. I gasped for breath, and yet the officers heard it not. I talked more quickly, more vehemently, but the noise steadily increased. I arose and argued about trifles in a high key and with violent gesticulations, but the noise steadily increased. Why would they not be gone? I paced the floor to and fro with heavy strides, as if excited to fury by the observations of the men, but the noise steadily increased. Oh God, what could I do? I foamed, I raved, I swore. I swung the chair upon which I had been sitting and grated it upon the boards, but the noise arose all over and continually increased. It grew louder, louder, louder. And still the man chatted pleasantly and smiled. Was it possible they heard not? Almighty God, no. No, they heard. They suspected. They knew. They were making a mockery of my horror. This I thought, and this I knew. But anything was better than this agony. Anything was way more tolerable than this derision. I could bear these hypocritical smiles no longer. I felt that I must scream or die. And now again, hark! Louder, 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 louder! Villains, I shrieked. Disassemble no more. I admit to the deed. Tear up the planks. Here, here. It is the beating of his hideous heart. Why are you pointing a gun at me, yo? You're the one who requested this. But that was our first story. Hip hip hooray. Also, hi Noir, I saw you came in during that. And yes, splish splash sploosh, Brits, if you are still here. Hydrates chat. You need more points for that if you wish to hydrate me. I loved it. I'm glad, Eo. Now we have a couple of options. We can wait for Misa to come back. We can move on to my next scary story. Or we can chat for a little bit. Ah, Morpho did redeem Get Hydrated. Get some water for your bones. I will. Joke's on you, I was already drinking water. I am waiting to see when Miso will get back. I do not know when he deafened. I was not paying attention. I was a little busy. Speaking of, voice, I'd still listen to an audiobook if they ever did those. I have been told that I should. I actually need to record one from one of my workmates.
I'm here, love.
Hmm?
I'm here. I forgot to get water.
Oh, you
So I
silly
was
bean.
listening from the stream.
Yeah. Starlight, you should sell audiobook readings. I pay cash money for it. Well, maybe that's a Patreon thing I do. That might be fun. Miso, Buki, it is your turn. I just didn't know what story you wanted to do.
The first story I think I'm gonna read is Rainbow Fish. If anyone's ever read it before or seen it before, it's honestly one of my favorite childhood books that I grew up with. So yeah.
I'm hoping it doesn't crash my Chrome again, because I was, for some reason, having my Chrome crash.
Oh shit. Hopefully not.
Let's hope it doesn't. I'll be really sad. And,
Okay.
oh my god. Misa, are we gonna take this slander? I don't think we're gonna take this slander.
Not in the beginning. That's crazy.
In the beginning. Ah, everything's breaking.
Oh, where did you just go?
Everything is breaking. Hold on. Let's just
Oh no. I saw your PNG leave. I was like, bro, did I just crash? Okay. Well, your whole screen just like crashed out.
It's crashing out currently. Nothing's working. Nothing is working.
Why?
I don't know. My system's having a conniption fit. It's having an absolute conniption fit, and I don't know why.
Boy,
We love it. We love to
there's
see
a
this.
thing there's a thing that says join the stream, but do I have to be on OBS for that?
Yes, you do.
Oh shit. I don't feel like pulling that up.
Give me back. Give me back. Well, I mean, you have to go live in order to be able to do that.